Gentlemen, thanks for your time.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
No worries, man. It's always a pleasure. I don't think we've ever got either of you on camera before, so yeah. Good luck. English bad boys. It's gonna happen, innit? Everyone's gonna say it. I think because the chemistry, the first thing that struck me about Bulletproof was the chemistry between the two of you.
Yeah.
The synergy. Was that easy enough to kind of forge on camera? Because you both know each other off camera, I suppose, for a while. No, tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean the chemistry was very easy because me and Ash just get on. We just get on really well. Like, we laugh a lot. We laugh probably more than people would expect or know, like a lot. And so bringing that energy and that banter to life on screen is simple. And even when the pages were different, we would add the spice to it and make sure that it kept that energy and kept the kind of banter that we have in real life.
I see that. Was it easy to ad-lib, ad hoc, as it were?
Yeah. For me, that's what I do. Like, I don't think I've ever stuck to scripts. Unless it was like something like Doctor Who or Silent Witness or, other shows that I've been in. But usually my whole thing, my career started from improvising. And that's what I like to kind of do as much as I can to keep things natural. So when we quickly understood that, we'd have to do that kind of every day to make it be as natural as I hope it, you saw.
No, I definitely picked that up. And I would guess, was there as many funny moments on set as it seemed there to be? Because it seemed like you lot were having a real laugh, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we were. There was loads of funny moments on set. I couldn't, there's so many moments I couldn't pick one out and say, this was a moment. Like, we literally laughed every day at all times. We even did a pick-up day yesterday for certain bits, and we just laughed all day yesterday, and just carried on like we had, because I've been away, so I've not seen him for a few weeks, but we just got straight back in, just laughed till I was in tears, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's a good vibe between us, which translates onto the screen and hopefully shows that these two men, that you can get two men like this that can just be good guys and have a laugh and have fun, as well as do their job.
It got that bad that it would stop being funny to everyone else. That's how much we laughed. We held up days, we lost time, there's loads of stuff that happened because of it. So don't get it twisted, not everyone on set was rolling around laughing with us. A lot of the jokes were just between us, but we needed to do that. It had to be that way because I think you can see it on the screen. You can definitely see it on the screen.
Definitely. You pick it up from day dot. Another thing that I picked up or struck me was that there was a lot of lead flying about. There's a lot of guns busting.
Yeah.
You both smiled at the same time. So was that part of the attraction to the role, or talk to me about that, because there's part of it that kind of seems not unrealistic, but it's like, wow, it's not really London life, but it needs that, adds to the action.
Well, it's heightened. It's a heightened show. And so we're the good guys. Do you know what I mean? And if the bad guys are gonna bring it, we're gonna bring it back. And we didn't want to make a conventional UK show. We wanted to make a show that was slightly heightened, and so, because the reality is you can't walk around the station with your firearm. You have to check it in a safe. You have to put it in. When you go out on a call, you have to go check it out. We ain't got time for that. Like, we are making a real show, but also heightened in the respect that it's cool. It's we can walk around with it, but at the same time, we're the good guys. We're not glamorizing it. We're not trying to say this is what you should be doing. We're trying to say we're the police. We're coming after you. And like, if you're gonna bust shots, we're gonna bust shots back.
And to add to that, there are police like us that exist in real. Like, you just don't see them. And we've never had a show about those sort of people. Do you know what I mean? So
it's an organised crime unit.
Well, on that, never having a show like that, I mean, it's not often you see a couple of the mandem as part of a special police branch.
Well, you've never seen it.
Never! Talking the way you talk. And you touched on the fact that you were ad hoc, ad-libbing and adding to... I could feel that. Because there's certain lines that I like now that was never in the script. You threw that on. And I think it really, really worked. Talk about how well you think that will be received by the audience. Because like I said, it's never happened. I've never seen a couple of mandem police officers talking the way that you talk, relating to each other the way you're relating to it. They're good guys.
Yes, good guys.
I think it's going to be automatic for a lot of people to be like, police show, especially people, it's not, the Top Boy crowd may be reluctant in the beginning, but I think us adding things like that, the authenticity of the language and the dialogue and whatever is what is going to attract certain people and bring them in. And then once they get into it, they'll like it, man. 100%. I think, like, you can walk away, you could walk away from the show thinking like, I might want to join the police force. Do you know what I mean? That's not what we're trying to achieve. We don't want to convert people or whatever. You can do what you want, but I think it's that good. And I think you have to take a leaf out of the Americans' books when they heighten everything in their shows, man. And we love it. So why can't we do the same thing over here?
I think it's important for people to see what this show is. Not just about, you know, it's a cop show, whatever like that. It's like, you know, we're getting two black leads in the show, two black male leads in the show that are not gangsters. We're not drug dealers. You know, we're not doing anything bad. Like, these are the good guys. Like, you don't see this. You do not see it. Ashley's character is married to a black woman.
I mean, I was going to get into the whole character dynamic.
They get on.
That's another thing that adds
They have
to
baths together. No one's beating anyone. They're not falling out. It's a beautiful thing, and you just don't see that.
Emulating his father, who was a...
Yeah. You don't see that, and I feel like it's important for people, for our people to see that representation on screen. You know, but this is not a black show. This is a global-facing, worldwide, multicultural show that people can relate to. But there is an importance that I think we have created here, that our people get to see us doing stuff like this, where we're not doing nefarious activities, because we don't get to see that. And if it can inspire, you know, I make a joke with Ash. I say it in interviews. You know, when I was a kid, you wanted to play the A-team, you had to be Mr. T. You're like, but I like Murdoch. Now you're Mr. T. You're Mr. T.
My cameraman was always Face. But...
Face. No, but you know, when you want to play Knight Rider, and you're like, I'm Michael Knight. They're like, no, you're Kit. You're Kit. You just say, and let me jump on your back and run around the playground. You're the car. I'm Michael Knight. You're Kit. You're black. You're Kit. You know what I mean? But now
you got someone.
You got someone. You could be Black Panther. You know what I mean? You could be Bishop and Pike.
Was you Kit? She sounded. It looked like you didn't really.
Yeah, I was that guy.
You know, even if you weren't, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I know
you didn't have. Totally. There wasn't people to aspire to, like you know. And even if you said, nah, even if you were that guy, we're like, no, I'm Murdoch, and everyone's like, cool, you're Murdoch. You still weren't. No, you weren't Murdoch. You weren't Murdoch. They were like, all right, let him be Murdoch. He's Murdoch. I'm the real Murdoch. But now there's Bishop, there's Pike, there's Black. You know, it's an important. This show's an important thing. It's an important thing.
I've seen a couple of episodes, just a couple. They won't send me anymore.
It's alright, no one's got any more.
I could have binged watched it. You know, I could have watched all of it. That's how I really kind of got to grips with it straight away. I thought the first 5 minutes of the first episode was fantastic. Everything was told to me. I got it. I was on board.
You like the first scene, didn't
They done Sabine dirty, man. I'm not going to go into it because I don't want people to really feel it. But listen, they done Sabine dirty in the first episode. The second episode ends on a great cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, give us something. Give me something to look forward to in the upcoming episodes.
Better
What was your favourite scene, or give us something out of one of the episodes that are coming?
My favorite. Two of my favorite scenes are, I think, in episode 1 and 2. One of my favorite scenes is him and his wife in the bath. I just feel like it's a beautiful thing. Like, you just don't see that. Do you know what I mean? I won't go into it. You know, it's not an X-rated scene. It's a nice scene.
That's when the kids come in.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful. It's just It's just normal. Like, she ain't coming in asking for the rent or nothing like that. It's like it's just beautiful. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not asking for no child support. Like, he's there in the bath with his wife. Like, it's amazing. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then the car. Us in the car when he's saying, "Put your gun down. Put your gun down. Put your gun down." In episode 2.
You're driving. I like the driving thing. I love that. Is that something you wanted to include in it, or was it already part of it?
100%. It had to be. Car chases. Yeah. I remember actually saying to Nick in the beginning, like, listen, just don't bother put the car chases in there if it's not going to be proper. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if it can't compete with what I've been growing up watching, whatever, then there's no point. There's no point in having it. It had to be that way. It had to be that way. So we focused on those moments, the fight sequences. I remember even halfway through shooting, we kind of complained about some of the fight sequences because we wanted them to be hard. Yeah, they just need to be even realer, just harder. It's like, you know, we're battering some people in this, man. We're bending the rules and we're doing what we're doing, but we know what people like. We know what our audience is looking for. So that's what it was about. But the driving thing, we enjoyed that, man.
He's good too.
Yeah, I was in there.
Don't let him fool you, be humble. He's good.
I was in there, bro.
I love the kind of synergy between you in that instance where you don't like the driving and you know, you're driving like a nutter. It's really good. Do we get to see a bit more of the family dynamic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I love the story, like I said, with your dad, so it'd be good to see that unfold.
Yeah.
You've got some killer lines in there. you've said it a few times on camera today. You're the good guys. When you burst into the bank, and again, I'm not going to elaborate on anything.
Oh, yeah.
You turn around and say, I know this is confusing.
Yeah, but we're the good guys.
Was that originally in the sky? Had to ask.
No. We added all that flavor. I think also in the woods. When I go in the woods in episode 2, I'm like, yo, bro, you know, black people usually get killed in the woods. You know, we shouldn't be like we add that stuff because like not only is it add flavor to the show, it's important to kind of tackle the stereotypes of the perceptions of what would usually happen when two black guys with guns walk into a bank. Usually, in every show I've seen, we would be the bad guys robbing the bank. So we were just like, we talk about these things on set. You know, we created the show as well. So like we can suggest these things and the other people are like open to it. So we're like, well, I'm gonna say this when we go in the bank. Not because I'm trying to make a point, but actually, usually in life, when this is in any film, this is what happens. So how about we say, I know this is confusing, but as an audience member, people get it. And it adds to the show and it's just a vibe and it gives it a sort of realism that actually people are like, yes, that is true at home while they're eating their food. Yeah, that is true. You know what I mean? And so we like doing that. There's a lot of that stuff in there.
No, it was definitely bang on the money. When you did that, I was like, you know, I'm so glad I'm sitting down with you because I want to ask you about that.
Yeah.
As I did with a lot of the language that's used. You've mentioned the fact that you were involved in making this. I know that you brought the pilot to Sky. Talk about that process and because I'm looking for the credits to roll at the end and I saw Nick Love as a director, writer, but I didn't know about your involvement until recently. So talk to me about, you know, how you bring this concept to life, how long you're walking around with it in your back pocket. Are you waiting for the time to be right to bring it?
Yeah, Ash came to me about 7-8 years ago, originally with the concept.
Right.
Like, let's do this show. You know, we created this. Like, we created he's going to be married, I'm not going to be married. We created this whole thing. And it's something that we've wanted to get done for a long time. You know, but for various reasons, it just didn't happen. So, you know, when we take it to Vertigo, like from our idea, we've created a whole new world, a whole new show. And once Sky saw that, very quickly they were like, yeah, we're invested. Because, you know, they got the ambition, they got the drive, they want to make global television, they want to push not just a diverse quota, but let's push some amazing shows with different people in it. You know what I mean? So once they were involved, it didn't take long at all. But the concept was that Ash came to me with us years ago. But so we essentially co-created the show. When Nick Love came on, we changed up the storyline that we had and turned it into what you will see now. But it was an important thing for us.
Ash, you're 7-8 years ahead of the curve, mate.
Always.
How does that feel? Because I can imagine at the time it's frustrating. It was frustrating not for people not to get it, but
yeah, no, it feels like. I guess what you're saying is like, you know, what me and Noel have both always done clearly is be pioneers. We've always been on the cusp of a transition, and a lot of the stuff that we've done, people have been inspired by, I'll say. So this is nothing new. Anything I'm trying to be involved in, I don't want it to be the same as someone else's thing or whatever. I always want to be that person that's like just pushing the door open a bit more and pushing the boundaries. And I think this could have went either way. But I mean, it's very clear that, you know, we've got a big show on our hands. Yeah. But I mean, it could have easily been something that people were like, what is that? And we would have, we would have been the losers.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to understand, like what Ash said, you know, is there's a lot of things happening right now where, you know, he has, you know, a lot of the doors that are open now, is like he opened them. Yeah. I opened them years ago. People talk about now, like, you know, sometimes people give me a bad rap. How come your films are this, that, and the other? Well, firstly, like, there's things we had to do to get the door open, you know, and once the door was open, then we can do this. But also, when people are like, bro, why don't you make a sci-fi? I was making sci-fi in 2012. Stories 24. I was doing them, you weren't watching them. When I was doing it, you weren't ready for them, you weren't watching them. And then people are gonna tell me about, like, why don't you do X, Y, and Z? Do you know what I mean? When I made Stories 24 with all the support I had and it went in the cinemas here, big 200 screens, people were like, but we don't want to see you in sci-fi, man. We don't want to see that. You know what I mean? And then you go back to what you do and people give you grief for that as well. But the world has changed and now people are like, well, why aren't you doing sci-fi? I've done it. You didn't watch it. So now we're creating new things. But Ash said, like, we're ahead of the curve. We've always been that way. Things that are happening now happen because of Don Warrington, happen because of Eamon Walker, happen because of Lenny James, you know. And then after them, well, Lenny's still doing his thing, smashing it on Sky. But after them, it happened because of us. There's no Kidulthood without Bullet Boy. There's no Attack the Block without Kid Owen. There's no Top Boy without Kid Owen. There's no Skins without Kid Owen. You know, these things have all come from each other. So I think people need to kind of stop looking at what happened now and go back to actually, the things that's going on now are only because of these guys and the people before them.
Respect the process.
Respect the process, because I respect it. So when you start mentioning my name, you put respect on it. And when you mention his name, put respect on it.
Do you want to look down the lens?
But I'll say it again.
No, that's cool. I winded you up. Listen, guys, thanks for your time. I know that I've had my lot.
They're rushing you. Come on, one more.
No, I just want to know if there's going to be a season 2.
One more.
Stick it on them.
We hope so. We hope so. I mean, you can never tell with these things.
All right. So if it does the numbers, then
season 2 counts on all you lot at home watching it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So
we'll
be
hope
here
so.
if you turn up.
Good luck, man. All the best with that, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.